Hi everyone, Mark here at Rapid Response, and we got two brand new vehicles to show you that we built for Swift Fire and Rescue, which is Dauphin County, Pennsylvania. Great customer of ours. We built them some other vehicles 2 years back or so, 3 years back. These are vehicles that they're adding to their fleet. So brand new 2022 Chevy Tahoes, built basically exactly the same, except one has graphics, one does not. Other than that, they're the same. The one to my right, your left, is on park mode, as you can see it flashing right now. And then the other one on the other side here, we have it in neutral, slider position 3, as if you're driving down the road. So we're gonna run over to this one here. We're gonna start at the front of this one, kind of go over some features of it. In the grille, we have dual color ions flashing red, white. Again, when the vehicle's put into park, they'll go to solid red. We slow the flash pattern down for park mode. It's been known to be actually more effective and safer than having patterns in this type of mode. So we have a V series here, which has the puddle light function and the little scene light. So we're still getting the white flash out of that as well, all synchronized. Unlike the other Tahoes, we could put M4s down in here. Instead of doing that in this, because they don't give us that bezel, we still wanted a little something here, right? So we added a mini T-ion, which fits in here very nicely. And at the side for intersection power, it's actually good. We have the V series, plus we have the mini T-ion here that's coming out the side to give us that intersection, help with that intersection lighting. We are flashing the headlights, as you can see. We have an Fst Visor. Now it's real hard to see this, and you really can't see it on the video, but in there, we removed the inner module and we put in a strobe tube, which is going to be for the preemption device. So that is something a little unique here. We did it in-house because there's not a lot of other places to really put preemption devices on these. Before, we would drill them into the headlights. We don't like to do that anymore. So we stuck it up there in the visor light, get a little higher, and we favored it towards the driver's side, of course, because that's the side you're generally going out into traffic. So Fst visor light, and that is flashing red, white again as well. Come down here to the mirror cap. We have a duo ion on here as well. This is your LED spotlight from Unity. Along the bottom, we have a Whelen tracer, flashing obviously red, white. We have a Whelen strip light series here in the back window, mounted up high, pointed straight out the side so it's not pointed up in the air. Attention to detail. As we come around to the back, we have pillar lights. We have an RST flashing red amber, along with the pillar lights as well. And then we have the brake light flashing also on that. Two T-ions beside the license plate, surface mounted. So we have really good rear lighting out the back of this vehicle for being slick top. We're gonna jump over here to the one that's open. So we opened up the back here. This is in, like I said, this is in park mode. So a couple things we're doing here in park mode. Generally, if they're opening up the back, they're probably not in traffic anymore. They might be in at the scene or whatever else, not running command, getting their gear out, whatever else it may be. So what we're doing here is we're activating lights at the top here. Instead of putting them down here, when you're standing here, these things blind you when you're walking up to the back of the vehicle. We found out that putting them up top here on a wedge kit gets them pointed out nice and straight. So at about 2 or 3 car lengths behind, even a little further than the cameraman is right now, they're very effective, even that they're up top here. Gives us that higher level warning out the back without completely just blinding us while we're standing back here. The other thing that we're doing is unhatch activation open, right? We're canceling these 2 top modules up here because they will completely blind you standing here. It's just too much. So we're turning on, we're keeping these bottoms on here, and we're keeping the brake lights flashing as well. So you still have adequate lighting out the back of this vehicle, even if you are on the road, just getting rid of these 2 top modules here so we can actually see, because it, again, blinding anybody doesn't do any good for anybody. So in the back, we have a gear clean gear clear system from Whelen. This is a patented device, so we purchased these. We are a Whelen distributor. Their gear goes in here. There's a fan system in there that circulates the carcinogens out of the vehicle. It exhausts it outside the vehicle. We did a couple extra things in here. We do have a whiteboard in here as well, so when we pull this out, we have a whiteboard that does flip up. And what's nice is, did a little something different here. The radio will go in here. We're waiting for the radio to come in. It's ready to go. All we got to do is plug it in. We have a power outlet here, USB plugs here, flashlight here as well. And then they can take their GTAC tablet, which we are GTAC distributor, out of the front, bring it here to the back. And what's nice is with this is, we put this on a swivel device to pull this out, right? And then we can still dock the GTAC device in here. So we can easily get to the GTAC device, see the screen, type on here, work on here, and still access stuff over here on this side as well. So real nice fluent setup here. We have a magnetic mic clip here at the top, which is where their mic is going to go on, so their mic will hang right here. It closes nice with the hatch as well. On the inside of the hatch, we have red-white combos. These are also activated on hatch mode, so you do not have to flip this switch when you're opening and closing the hatch. They will automatically turn on if you let them set on white or red, whatever you like. These areas here, one will fit a water can, and then another one an ABC extinguisher, whatever they would like to do. And then there's obviously a file cabinet drawer on this one. We're going to go over some different functionality of it and go over the inside of the vehicle. Okay, the inside of the vehicle, on the front side of the gear clean box, we have a strap system here. Still give you storage on this, because obviously it would be very difficult to reach the whole way to the back of this box when you're at the back of the vehicle. This unit also has, we did something a little different. This has a slide out tray with all our communications in it. So to go over some of this communication stuff with you is we have our Whelen core system here with our expansion packs, our external howler system, our VoltLink wiring system, which is by us here at Rapid Response. This VoltLink wiring system, what's cool with that is it, see how small and robust that thing is? What's nice with it is it has built-in timers in it. So if we need to set radios to turn off after so long, because let's face it, if you go in and get coffee or something like that at a gas station, you don't want the radio up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So we can control that with a built-in timer actually in our VoltLink system. And then we have some extra spares, but we label all these for the customer as well. We have a Cradle Point modem that we are a Cradle Point dealer, so that is supplied directly from us here. And then we have the this vehicle here. We're on the vehicle that was in park mode on the video. This vehicle, or not park mode, sorry, slider 3. This vehicle has a radio in it, so I want to show you this one and how we mounted the radio. This is a Motorola radio for the county as well. Okay, at the front of the vehicle here at the console, we got a Havis console. These consoles are really nice. They fit right up into the dash. They look nice. We got adjustable armrest on here as well. Magnetic mic clip holder. There's two things that we always go over with the customer when they pick them up, and that's mic clip position and armrest position. It doesn't matter where you set them to. It seems like we always want to change them, and that's nice with the Havis because they're in a T slot here, and we can move these around and change these to wherever they need to go. So we have a Uniden scanner. We are a Uniden dealer, Bearcat, so we have a scanner here that's programmed. We're going to have their county radio here as well. Then we get down to the control panel here for the wheel and for the lighting controls, slider positions. I'm going to go over a little bit of that with you on the outside purpose. We have a GTAC tablet with a Havis dock, so flip this up, pull the tablet out. Again, we can take that to the back if you remember. And then we have a keyboard here as well. This keyboard can easily be removed by pushing this eject button. You can set it over on your lap if you want, so it's very functional in that aspect. We added a flashlight here because we need a flashlight, obviously, radio charger, some cup holders, and we also have a Rosco dual vision camera system, which is going to be recording out the front and the back. And that system is nice because it's the XC4, which has your lock and key. Everything's under lock and key, which is nice. And there's even an event button down here in the front, a little hard to see it, but there's a red button down here that if you do want to tag the video at some part, maybe somebody pulled out in front of you, or whatever it may be, and for you to find that video easier, you can push that tag button and find it fairly easy. So pretty nice setup in the inside. It's not overly complicated. It's easy to use. Again, I'm going to go over some of these buttons and stuff with you on the outside so you can see some functionality. Okay, so what Whelen Core is doing for us is we're tied into the OBD2 ports of the vehicle, and we're reading those senses. For you folks that don't know what Whelen Core is, what that allows us to do is, instead of tying in or splicing into wiring and transmission wiring in today's world, you don't want to do that. So we're tied into OBD2. There's so many parameters. There's so much things you can do with this. It's unreal, to the point that the customer will forget all those options, right? So you have to still keep this basic user friendly, and that's what we're doing here. So lights off, warning lights off. If I touch the brake pedal, I'm going to get extra lighting to the rear on brake lights with the rear pillar lights there, okay? As you can see that. Brake off, brake on. Now, if I activate the emergency warning lights, okay? Emergency warning lights are active. We're in neutral, slider position 3. If I hit the brake lights now, we're not gonna kill the rear pillar lights, but we're gonna take the RST and we're gonna change that color. And the reason why we do this is because if you're going fire, police, it doesn't matter, EMS, you're driving to a call, daylight, nighttime, whatever it may be, and somebody pulls out in front of you and you slam the brakes, the last thing we want is somebody slamming you in the back end of the vehicle. So we're giving you that, we're getting rid of some warning lights to create less confusion, right? And we're giving you solid brake lights to catch your attention that this vehicle is stopping, and stopping possibly very quickly. We also have turn signal. Now, turn signal is not going to work. So if I turn signal on right now, nothing's going to happen besides your standard turn signal down here from the factory, because we don't want to stop this, and we don't want to put a turn signal in here. It'll flash out of sync. It won't look right. It might be confusing, right? So we just keep that standard. However, if I have my lights off and I put my turn signal on now I'm going to flash this here, but I'm also going to flash my amber module up here as well. The other thing that we did is, if you notice, when I do hit these brake lights, we don't have these to full intensity. A lot of people complain about white to the rear. You can't have white to the rear, you're blinding people. People forget about that these ions are 900 series in the back of ambulances. They don't dim them things down, and they blind the daylights out of you when you hit the brake lights. So what we did is we dimmed these down on brake light function to be about the same brightness as what this brake light is here. So that way it looks equal across the board, right? Okay, come around to the side. Another function here that just kind of happens to work right now is because I have driver's door open. So we're turning that tracer on in white flood. So warning mode or not, open the door, white light comes on there, okay? Now let's get you out to the front and give you some other couple functions that we have here as well. So I'm going to go back into, let's do this. Let's go back into slider position 3. I'm just going to show you a feature that we have on this. Siren tone, we have T1, T2, T3. When I go to T3 siren tone, it's going to change my flash pattern. It's going to speed it up a little bit. So hold your ears. As you can see here, I'm speeding that pattern up. Okay, now I'm back, turn siren back off, went back to normal pattern. Couple other things I can do here. If I want to do front scene lights, I can reach in and push front scene lights. However, let's say I'm outside of the vehicle, right, and I want to be able to hit the front scene lights quick because I ran up or whatever and I need to get the scene lights on. I can reach in here and simply pull the stick on the high beam, low beam, right? So put the vehicle into park mode here, and I did that just by opening and closing the door, obviously. So if I pull the headlight beam back, when I pull that back, I'm going to go and I'm going to give us white, solid white lights up in the visor and also down here in the lower grille as well. Now I can, like I said, I can activate that in the vehicle by just pushing a button on the console. I'm even turning on my side mirror caps as well. I can do that with a button in the console, or I can simply pull the stick back on the steering column and do it as well. Like I said, I'm outside, I need quick lighting, boom, I hit it and go. And then to turn that off, pretty simple. All I gotta do, just push that takedown button, turn that back off. This has a howler in it as well. What's nice is with the howlers now is they're standalone units. Okay, so the howler doesn't need to be tied in to a siren pattern anymore. So what we can do with this is I can run 2 siren tones, right? Plus, if I push my cruise cancel button with lights activated, okay, only with lights activated, I'll activate my howler. So technically, I'm getting basically 3 siren tones out the front of this vehicle. Okay, next thing that we can do, horn button. There's a horn button here to turn the horn on and off. If I push it, it's pretty unique because we're activating howler with horn. So we're giving 2 different horn tones out the 2 siren speakers, plus we're giving a howler activation for that bass tone. And I understand you can't hear the bass through the video here, but we're doing it. So you have a very, very effective air horn out the front of this, unlike what you used to have before. We do have horn ring transfer set up as well. So if you want to change siren tones, you can just push the steering wheel here as well. We have a preemption button that we can turn on and off the preemption. So if we don't want the preemption on in Slider 3, we can push the preemption and turn it off. It will automatically turn off obviously as well when the door opens or a different slider position. And we also have left arrow, right arrow, center out, things of that nature that are in the RST. So as you can see, the vehicle has a lot of functionality, right? You have all this functionality, but we try to keep it simple. We try to make it functional, that it works. We don't go to the point that the customer actually gets confused, right? Because that's what can happen with some of these systems. They can get that complex that you'll never use the functionality of them. So we're giving you functionality with the core system. We're making it easy to use. We're making it safe. Everything's synchronized, like I said, the whole way across. Difference between, like I said, these 2 vehicles, that one has graphics, this one doesn't. Other than that, they're the same. Graphics are done in-house at Mark.It Graphics right here at our facility. They're not subbed out. Everything is done 100% in-house. So we build a lot of vehicles a year, a couple hundred. I think in 2022, we built a little over 400. This year, as soon as vehicles start coming in again, I think we're going to hit those numbers easily again. We could easily do 500 or 600 if we would have vehicles. However, we are still knocking vehicles out daily. So we've been more than happy to give you a tour of the facility. We're building vehicles across the world. We have vehicles in Hawaii. I just heard today we just got a contract for 50 some, possibly up to 50 some brush trucks for Florida. So we're all over the place. Our quality of work speaks for itself, as you can see here. Our attention to detail really is like no other. Our shop techs are the best, guaranteed the best of the industry. Their attention to detail, their care is phenomenal. We don't do a production run here in the shop. Everybody builds their vehicle from start to finish, so they have that sense of completion. And what that means for you as the customer is attention to detail, and they care about your project. We're not just running this guy puts on grill lights, this guy puts in consoles type of deal. We train our techs from start to finish, no matter where you work here. So thanks for your attention today. We appreciate it. If there's anything else we can do for you, let us know. 717-473-3843. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day, everybody.